I suppose you're all wondering why I've called you all here today.
You finally figured out the proper term to define your sexuality?
Oh, God, no. My sexuality is beyond all human understanding.
Netflix finally called you back about that talk show?
Also, no. If that ever happened, you would never see my faggot ass again.
McDonald's chicken nugget?
Unfortunately, also no, because we blew our entire budget during the B video. No, boys, today I am here to talk to you all about Dan.
Alright, could it be the fact that ever since he came home from Minnesota, he's been acting like a complete drunken bastard? Yeah, I've had my suspicions about what's up with that, but like, what the fuck is happening with him? He's never acted like this.
Boys, that's not our Dan.
What? Welcome back to The Real Dan the Man, the single most autistic show on the internet, and if you don't believe me, just keep watching. If you've been on the internet for any period of time, you've probably heard someone say the phrase, nostalgia is one hell of a drug. And that is entirely correct. At one point in history, it was looked at as a mental illness because it can cause people to get really fucked up from time to time. And to truly understand that, you need look no further than older generations. You see, older generations grew up with older traditions and older values, which consequently means that nostalgia for something from their childhoods will cause them to turn a blind eye to the fact that it was blatantly fucking racist. Not long ago, I found the YouTube channel for the Jim Crow Museum, a history museum started by an African-American man to document some of the negative racially charged misrepresentation of black people in media during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Very fascinating, very informative, and racism makes me cringe, so don't be surprised if I make a video about it. But on that YouTube channel, they showed a clip of Bugs Bunny saying,
"Don't beat me, Massa! Please don't beat me, Massa! Don't beat that tired old body! No, don't!"
I showed this clip to my mother and talked about it with her, and her response to seeing it for the first time in like 40 years was, "Oh my god. I saw that when I was a little kid." The difference between my mother and other older people is that she is able to admit that the way things happened back then was fucking weird. But because of nostalgia, the others will desperately cling to the idea that there was never anything wrong with it, and if you take issue with it, it's because you're an SJW snowflake. Enter Fredflix. Now, Fredflix is a channel started by an old white man on a nostalgia trip. One of his videos that stuck out to me was old commercials that would be politically incorrect today. The description to this video reads, "There was nothing wrong with these TV ads at the time, but they wouldn't air in these 'oh wait, I'm offended' days." Now, I won't disagree that there's a large number of people nowadays who get offended at every little fucking thing, but those people are retards. The idea of a group of people getting offended by something and shutting it down from the media is nothing new. You see, cancel culture has always existed, but up until recent history it was called journalism, and before that it was called church. Eminem is the devil, and Pokemon is the devil, comic books are the devil!
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, getting offended by something is older than the very concept of social media itself. Same old fucking house, ain't shit changed but the locks. But never mind all that, let's see what our old pal Mr. Flix has to say about what offends the kids nowadays. Oh no. I don't want to do that, man. Why do you gotta make me do that? Blocky text on a solid colored background. I don't know if that's more telling of the age of the video or the person making it. It looks like a church PowerPoint presentation. Just cut out the RGB bullshit and use black. Trust me, it's much more easy to look at. Speaking of black,
This flat tire needs a man, but when there's no man around.
oh, right, sexism, I get it. Cause like, women don't change tires. It's weird seeing someone say that in like a full-on, non-joking, non-sarcastic, fucking full-send, just women don't change tires. It's fucking awkward. I gotta say though, I do appreciate the little bongo situation you got going on. You know, it gives it that whole like, start to a horror movie. Everything's quiet. But something's lurking in the shadows.
When there's no man around, Goodyear should be.
Okay, firstly, with a voice like that, I feel like this man just invented ASMR. Secondly, fuck, that sounds good!
Why? Watch this. Goodyear Double Eagle. Carries its own spare inside. Lifeguard safety spare. A tire in a tire.
A tire in a tire. You know, that may sound good on paper, but if Marxist communism has taught me anything, it's that something working in theory does not necessarily mean it'll work in real life. Let's say your tire blows out. Now what? You're gonna ride on 3 equally sized tires and one that's slightly smaller than all the other ones with a bunch of deflated rubber burning around it. Yeah, I think you're better off riding the flat and getting it changed. They did not think this one through. There's a reason we don't still use this product.
Keeps on going. Next time, give her a second chance.
Now that is a good baseline. Fuck, the music in this commercial is good. But is the commercial really that offensive? On the offensive scale of like 1 to 10, I'll give it a 4.8. Yeah, we are 6 minutes into this video and I've only covered 1 commercial. That's some shit.
The Kool Aid kids in old Japan rode rickshaws everywhere.
Ah, I see. That's fucked. The basic gist of this commercial goes like this. Post-World War II America's opinions on Japanese people were very, very low because of
the Japs sneaked Sky and Sea Raid on Pearl Harbor.
Reasons. And that fact is something that seeped its way into their pop culture, or more specifically in the way that their pop culture made fun of them.
Hi, Kool Aid keeps me very wise. Stand by, please, for big surprise. Kool Aid, so great. Once you tried it, no can wait.
What the fuck is this shit? How do you turn Kool Aid Man racist? It's weird thinking that this company at one point used racial stereotypes in their advertising, considering they now are a racial stereotype.
Honorable Kool Aid, the most refreshing, much loved by whole family.
I'm sorry, can you run that by me one more time?
Honorable Kool Aid, the most refreshing.
Okay, and one more.
Honorable Kool Aid.
Okay, yeah, stop. Honorable Kool Aid. Honorable Kool Aid. Yeah, I just have one little question. What the fuck does that mean?
Much loved by whole family. Father, mother, Japanese boy, Japanese girl.
What the fuck? Father, mother, Japanese boy, Japanese girl? Not just any boy and girl. Specifically the ones from that country. You have to clarify that. It's mandatory. There's a plane flying overhead. Also, I love how they're explicitly saying Japanese whenever a lot of the stereotypes they're using are Chinese. It's like, bro, if you're gonna be racist, at least do it right.
A package make 2 full quarts, cost only 20 yen, just 5 cents, with lots of ice. So nice.
A packet of Kool Aid used to cost 5 cents. They may have been racist, but at least they had low prices. Holy fuck.
Kool Aid, so great. Once you tried it, no can wait.
That's catchier than it has any right to be, and I hate it. So on the offensive scale of 1 to 10, I rate that about a 7. I would say it's an 8, but at least the Japanese people in this weren't depicted like they were in the Looney Tunes.
After eating, you were enjoying a crumb.
Tonight, right after Animal House, Eric Estrada and Howard Hessman meet the Dream Girls.
Hi.
Of every man's fantasy.
I'll just knock you dead.
Morgan Fairchild, Linda Carter, Kathy Lee Crosby, Victoria Principal, and much, much more.
Is this supposed to make me feel something? Or? So this is advertising a show about beautiful women? That's about it. I don't know what you want from me here. Listen, buddy, I'm all for women going into sex work if they think it's right for them. If this is what these women want to do and they consented to it, fuck it. Like, seriously, I thought this video was supposed to be about ads from the 40s and 50s. This is like the 1970s. Who asked for this? 2 out of 10. Fuck off.
This is the story of the little bull who wanted to sing, but sing in a special way. His ambition was to sing in the Bull of the Woods Quartet.
Bull of the Woods was a chewing tobacco company, and the political incorrectness of this commercial comes from it being for chewing tobacco. Now, I never realized it was politically incorrect to sell products that give you mouth cancer. I always figured it was just regular incorrect. The consumers had no idea how bad for you it was, and the manufacturers absolutely knew and just didn't give a fuck. So yes, the fact that this exists is really shitty, but I wouldn't call it offensive. It's not quite in the same boat as
Honorable Kool Aid, the most refreshing.
You see, Bull of the Woods chewing tobacco is rich. It's mild, too. And your voice must express that mildness.
As far as I know, rich means deep and intense, and mild means not too strong. So I don't really know how something can be both rich and mild.
Rich and mild.
Deeper.
Rich and mild. Fuller.
Well, there's one way to give a kid social anxiety and a speech impediment.
And so the little bull worked and sang and kept singing. His voice got richer and fuller and sweet as Bull of the Woods chewing tobacco, until that great day when he got his wish.
Bull of the woods, chewing tobacco. Bull of the woods, chewing tobacco. Bull of the woods.
It's a fact, sir.
Lonely filler can't be beat.
That's too catchy for me to hate. On the offensive scale, I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
He's the boss.
You run your mill with the same kind of skill that's been passed through your family to you. You're the kind of a man who likes to work with his hands. Beechnut's the tobacco you chew, and it's been that way, father and son, for a long time.
This is just another chewing tobacco commercial. Stop wasting my fucking time. 2 out of 10. Fuck off.
They sure work hard, don't they, Barney?
Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard.
Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
That's actually pretty funny. You know, it's easy to forget that the Flintstones were basically the Family Guy of that time period. At the time, they were making social commentary at the things that people were starting to become self-aware of. In this case, sexism. The point of the joke is that Fred is being an asshole. You are supposed to laugh at that because it's told in a way that's so blunt it sounds ridiculous. However, they were not fully self-aware yet, and I will let the commercial speak for itself on that front.
Let's take a Winston break.
That's it! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
Yeah, Fred, filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it counts. Here, ahead of the pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in filter smoking.
Cigarettes were heavily advertised at the time for the same reason chewing tobacco was. Consumers didn't know it was bad for you, and corporate did and didn't tell anyone. The legal system eventually fixed that problem, but I think we can all agree there's something extremely unsettling about watching someone go from a casual conversation straight into a professionally scripted commercial, being used as a corporate husk with no other purpose than making a sale. Speaking of which...
Hello everyone, Lenny the Clown here yet again to bring you another message from our sponsors, New Phosphorine Tonic Wine. Do you suffer from crippling loneliness on a regular basis? Well, that is because you are a stupid piece of shit and you deserve it. But that does not mean there is no cure. Critics online are raving about New Phosphorine Tonic Wine, calling it such wonderful things as a marvel, the solution to all of life's problems, and the fuck. New Phosphorine Tonic Wine is the clinically proven cure for all forms of depression. Fuck you. Phosphorine Tonic Wine didn't stop Cheryl from leaving, and it didn't stop her from taking the kids, and it didn't stop the loan company from repossessing my car, and it didn't stop my boss from awkwardly groping me at my desk. But it has improved life in every other aspect. And that is what we at New Phosphorine Tonic Wine like to hear. Side effects of New Phosphorine Tonic Wine include runny nose, headache, fever, cough, itching, swelling, spontaneous combustion, cancer cell division, pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, diarrhea, valentine, clementine, hamatime, and E equals MC squared. So next time you're in the market to wallow in your own self-pity, pick up New Phosphorine Tonic Wine, and you too can get a drunken vehicular homicide charge. 10 out of 10 would do again.
And that, my friends, is how you make an offensive advertisement. Thanks, Grey One.
I have a name.
Sure you do. I'm gonna split this video up into 2 parts because there's still a lot more ads to go through and we're almost at the 15-minute mark. Goodbye, thanks for watching, and get the hell out of my house. So, just for a little refresher on what we just learned, that Dan out there making that video right now is not our Dan. Aye, lad, that does appear to be the case, yes. And that doesn't bother you more than this? Quite frankly, no, not at all. If this were a bigger deal than what I'm perceiving it as, Lenny would be having a fucking come-apart. Instead, he's staying rather calm about all of it. I trust that lad's judgment. I think it's all fine. Shane, we have been around for like 2 years at this point, and no one has ever explained any of this to us. Because fucking Dan wants to keep his multiverse bullshit to himself. Well, while I do agree we've been kept pretty well in the dark for our entire existence, I have yet to see anything bad happen as a result of it. Let alone caused by that bumbling oaf. I'm just so fucking tired of not knowing anything. Oh god, what the fuck?!
I can explain everything.